All right, greetings and peace, everybody. Want to go ahead and finally do this hair video, get this hair video out. And right now, my hair is a little bit wild right now because I literally just woke up probably about like a half an hour to 45 minutes ago. Got up, saw that it was going to be a sunny day today, and I drank some water, got dressed, and just came straight out. Straight out. And one thing I learned about my hair, it growing out, is even if I lay down and then like half of it is like pushed in, at some point, whether it be sunlight or I just go throughout the rest of the day, it'll puff out. It literally does, and it might even do it throughout this video, because it's sunlight. What it does is it brings out my hair for some reason, and then my hair just comes out into like a fro. I have a curly fro. My hair and my family hair, we all have curly hair. Mine is like the small curly hair, and like the front, it curls up. It goes upward. The front just goes upward. And then the thing is about my hairline too is I have to get my edge up. I have to get my edge up to be able to keep it straight, because my hairline even curls up. That's the crazy part about it. The thing I learned about my hair is whenever I let it grow out, it always curls. So I like it though. I don't got no problem with it. And this hair journey that I'm on right now is part of my spiritual journey. And letting my hair grow out, it was just natural. I got to a point where it was growing out, and I was trying to find out when I'm gonna go ahead and get a haircut. But I started to have this intuitive feelings a few months ago to just let the hair grow out. And then I was like, because I'm usually always getting my hair cut. I'm one of those guys who's been trained to get haircuts. And if you look at some of my older videos, I usually have either a fade of some sort, a taper, or a brush cut. Especially my old videos back in 2012, 2013, and 14, I usually have like a brush cut, a really, really low brush cut. But now I know to don't go back to getting brush cuts. I feel the difference now, and I realize that the longer I let my hair grow out, the more comfortable I got with it. And now I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is when it grows back, I gotta make sure that I get my I edge myself up, and that's what I usually do. That's the only cutting that I usually do now, is the edging of my front. Then I edge up my beard area and under here, because for me, I don't want to be one of those dudes that get caught up into growing your hair, and then they just got hair all over their mouth and look nasty when they eat. You ever see that? I definitely don't like that. That just look so nasty, and I said to myself, I'm not gonna allow myself to get like that. Like James Harden, y'all see the way that he got his beard? Like his beard is like all over his mouth. That I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I'm letting a certain amount grow, and I'm keeping a certain amount like in order. I still want to look neat. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of like iffy about going with the dreads. I'm not too hot about the dreads. My thing is right now is just let the curly fro grow out, and I like it. I like it like that, but I'm not too sure about going about the dreads. The other thing is with me, my experience is the more I allowed it to grow out, my hair grow out, the more I've noticed I'm able to be more intuitive, psychic, picking up the psychic energy around my environment. Like for example, when I was at the mall recently and I was sitting down on my phone and getting ready to order some food, I looked up and I realized I felt the energy around the entire mall that I was at. And I was feeling like, man, this is weird. It's weird. Like, I literally felt the entire energy, but I didn't really analyze it until later that day, or I think it was the next day. And until I watched another video, another dude talking about hair. He was giving like a lecture, and he had his slides in the background, and then he was talking about the nervous system and how our hair is connected to the nervous system, which I already knew that too. And that's another reason why it's good to keep hair. And just recently, I was watching some basketball clips, superhuman moments, basketball video, and then I thought about it that even playing basketball, it's good to have extra hair on your head. Don't go with the brush cuts, because you got extra sensory perception around you. Like, for example, the other example, having extra hair on my head and on my beard too is, and this gonna sound crazy, I can literally feel the rim where it's at. Like, when I turn my back to the rim, I can feel the energy of it. And to the point where sometimes I'll practice shooting shots with my back turned towards the hoop, because I can feel the rim. So me knowing that and doing like little circus shots, just practicing, I really feel like that's what's going on with a lot of the melanated players like Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, and Kobe Bryant. And whether they're conscious of it or not, they can feel it too. They can feel where the rim is. And even Michael Jordan, I was thinking about myself that, imagine if Michael Jordan actually did have a head full of hair, or even had dreads. Like, his perception probably would be like tremendous, even more than he did, because he didn't have hair. So I can't say that everybody needs to have hair to be able to play good basketball. But he didn't even have hair on his head, and he still did great. But I'm saying, like, if he knew the importance of hair and he actually kept his hair, and he didn't eat all that meat, because a lot of people don't know that Michael Jordan, he would eat steak before a game, almost every single game. And if you know that steak got a lot of hormones in it, and that meat got a lot of hormones in it, that's why I rarely eat it. And I ate steak yesterday, and I see the difference when I get up in the morning. I'm like, oh my God. All right, now it's time to go ahead and cleanse out. I had a steak taco yesterday from Ruby Tuesday, and it was not good. It was not that good. That's why I rarely eat meat, and I'm usually in a fasted state in the morning time like this, and I rarely eat throughout the day anyways. Like the day before yesterday, I had just like a cookie, and that was it. But and then the rest of the day I just drunk water. That's usually my day is just like water, sunlight, here in nature. And if I'm not like either studying, editing a video, editing some kind of audio, because I create audio subliminals also, and I sell those to people. And I'm telling you, audio subliminals help out a lot. And that's the other psychic part about it, is I was trying to figure out the differences between if the actual subliminal programming was coming through of my psychic senses, and or was it actually my hair being thrown out that gave me the extra sensory perception. So I was analyzing it, and it was both. So with subliminals, you can use it either also for training of your brain for your to perceive your extrasensory perceptions, your extra psychic senses, because we all have them. And that's the other thing I wanted to tell people too, that just because you're gonna grow out your hair and you have hair, that doesn't make you a highly advanced deity. So don't allow yourself and your ego to think that just because you're gonna grow out your hair, that you're gonna be this advanced deity that people are gonna worship, and you're gonna have this big boom of spiritual enlightenment. No, that spiritual enlightenment, that takes time. It definitely takes time, and I realized that because I started my personal journey, my personal development journey back in 2006. I took it more and more seriously after 2014, and I got closer and closer to this year. So the past 3 years, I took it more seriously. Like now I'm hardcore, and now this psychic stuff is, whoa, I can feel this stuff even more. And people have to understand the different layers. There's different layers of psychic senses. I mean, psychic awareness about what's going on around you. And there's different layers of people that you got to be able to read into. You can go in and out. And you can get to a point where you're so advanced that you just need some kind of exposure with people, with a person. And within seconds, you can be able to tell a variety of things that's going on with them, and being able to tell like deep things that's going on with them. And I'm looking at my hairline right now, y'all, and it needs some shaping up. I definitely see that. But that's what happens. Like when I let it grow out and I don't shape it, it just goes natural, and it's like all over the place. And the other thing too is growing my hair out, my hairline grows back normal, back to the front. And even though it's not like right here, somewhere around here, still I have a hairline that most guys that do, not most, but a lot of dudes don't have. So I'm happy about that. Like some dudes, they got their hairline like in the middle of their damn head. I'm like, whoa. So I'm happy that I even have hair. That's the thing that you got to be happy about too, that you have hair. That's abundance. That's abundance. That's why you got to be careful with what you're eating. Your eating habits and all of those hormones from those, what do you call those, animal products. I rarely taking any kind of animal products. Every so often I'll eat meat, but I'm not heavy on that meat. Definitely not heavy on that meat like I used to be. Now it's like I can go through weeks without eating meat, and it doesn't matter to me anymore, because that programming, I got out of that programming of eating meat. Now it's mostly water. I don't even eat salad though either. I don't even care about the, what do you call that? I'm about to start walking because I'm starting to get stiff in the back from playing that basketball last week. I went in hard playing or practicing, and it's been a while since I played basketball, so I got to get back into basketball shape. What I was gonna say, so getting out of the dairy products, that's cheese, meat, definitely that milk. And if you're going to do that, then you have to understand fasting and cleanse that stuff out. So me, when I do eat steak or heavy meats and stuff like that, like I did yesterday, I go on a fast the next day, at least the intermittent fasting. You gotta study intermittent fasting too. Study that. And drinking lots and lots of water. I'm going to do another water video, a detailed one, explaining to people about water. I drink a lot of water, and that keeps my skin like flawless, especially the sunlight. The sunlight does that. Let me see here. And stress. I've learned that stress is another thing that keeps people from actually developing strong hair. Like strong hair, and just growing your hair naturally, and you having a full head of hair. So I have a full head of hair, and I'm happy about that. So if you got a full head of hair, you got to be happy about that too, because there's people who can't grow their hair for real, and that's sad for the people who want to grow hair and they can't. And let me turn this. Okay, who want to grow hair but they can't. But let me see here. So you keep it on because it's really a part of you. It is, and that's the crazy thing about it is there's a lot of social programming that causes us to think that it's normal to cut your hair. And I used to be, back in the day when I was in my teenage years, I used to be around a lot of dudes that would be so obsessed with getting their hair cut, and that got me obsessed with it. For a little while, when I was a fan of Kobe Bryant, I wanted to have a fro just like him. And then I wanted to have hair on my head. I'm in my face also, just naturally. That's what a lot of us guys naturally are when we in our teenage years. We just want to grow hair on our face. My father, he had a goatee. I wanted a goatee, but at that time I was in the Jehovah's Witness religion. I was brought up as that. Finally got out of that. I'm happy I got out of that. Like in my early 20s, I got out of that cult. And I'll probably do another video explaining that situation. I already got a Jehovah's Witness video, an old one, that's when I had a brush cut. So you can go back and check that out. That was back when I was more in my ego. Looking at that, I was like, oh my God, speaking from my ego. Now I'm more conscious. So, what was I talking about? Oh, okay, so it's your environment too. So the social programming of cutting your hair, for the guys at least, it's your environment and who you're around. The way that society has it, they have it to where people are programmed to cut the hair and to think that it's natural and a normal thing to cut your hair, and then you pick it up too. And then you also see the TV shows, the movies, where you got guys who got brush cuts, who got really, really low haircuts, they got fades and all of that. And then you pick it up, and then you end up wanting to do it for yourself. But when you come into consciousness, you start to think more. And for me, it was just natural. It wasn't like really looking at anybody else and trying to be like anybody, trying to be like a Rasta or anybody like that. For me, no. I just got this feeling a few months ago. It's like, just let your hair grow out. Don't cut it this time. And I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and do it. And then probably like 2 or 3 months later, I started to feel comfortable with it. And that's what you got to do. You got to get through that comfort aspect. You got to get through that comfort, get past that part of programming that tells you to cut your hair. Then you're going to have to deal with the people around you that's used to you cutting your hair. You got to deal with that. Fortunately, I don't have to deal with that because I'm not around people that much. I'm out of that stage of thinking that I have to have a job and working with people. Finally got out of that. Working for people. And I got into I got out of that social programming that tells you got to have a job and working for people and being around certain people. I'm not going to go into this video because there's certain people that I'm happy that I don't have to be around anymore when it comes to that job. Some people might know what I'm talking about. Some conscious people might know what I'm talking about. But it is good to get out of that social programming of that job thing, because you got to get away from certain groups of people. How can I say it? Certain inorganic individuals. The more I got away from them and I was by myself in peace, prosperity, and relaxation, the more I began to realize a lot what's going on with these individuals. That's why I don't really like being around them that much. But I still deal with them for the times where I have to deal with them and still respect them, but I just make sure that I'm focused and not allowing my social programming that causes us to obsess about being around them. And that's another thing I gotta talk to people about too, is their social programming that causes us to be obsessed with these inorganic beings that think they run the world, and they think that they are all, I don't want to go into that right now. But anyways, so keeping your hair is important and letting it grow out, because that actually is the natural way of doing things with your hair. That's the natural way. And it's unnatural to cut your hair, especially cutting it low. And when women do that, when they go with that brush cut, oh my God, that is so shocking to me. And I thought it was so weird when I started to see more and more women cut their hair to where it's the brush cut their hair. And I know now that when women do that, that is a psychological issue, including a psychological issue part of the social programming, and also they got a lot of, something usually is going on internally when a woman thinks that it's okay to actually get her hair to the brush cut. And it's not speaking bad against them, like any hatred, but I'm just saying that really is what's going on. It's a deep inner issue that's going on with them that causes them to actually think that it's okay to go to that brush cut level. That brush cut level, that's really when they take it too far. I understand now, and I thought about it too. Like Holly Berry, when she cut her hair low, she still looked feminine. So she can pass for a low haircut because she still has enough hair that goes down. And she's still feminine. But there's still females that nowadays, they go with the low brush cut and they even go bald, like Michael Jordan. That's when I really think that is nasty. I'm like, ugh, I don't care how good she look. It's just nasty when a woman goes bald headed. But anyways, so when you cut off your hair completely, the lower you go, the more you cut off yourself from your spirituality. So you can go ahead and check out that story about Samson, if you don't already know, in the Bible. When the lady, his girl, whatever it is, cut off his hair, she cut off his strength. And people who cut off their hair, they cut off a part of their spirituality. Because I remember the last time I got my hair cut, or the last two, when I got it really low, I felt weird. I felt like lost. That lets me know, like, oh, okay, yeah, you gotta keep your hair. You gotta keep your hair. You gotta keep your hair. And if you want, you can even try it yourself. Like, if you already got a lot of hair, get your hair cut, and you'll be able to see the difference. Or unless you don't even want to try it, just let it grow back. Then, like I'm telling you, let it grow back. You let it grow back. So for me, I feel more complete. That's the thing. I need to close this damn video out. I usually don't speak this long. So overall, first and foremost, I feel more complete. Having all this hair on my hair, more hair on my head. Now that I let it grow out, I feel more complete. Much more psychically sensitive than ever before. I can walk into a room and I can feel the energy in the room and what's going on. And now, the thing is though, when you get to hair, if you want to do it also for the psychic sensitivity, you also have to have your mind and your brain programmed to be able to access and be able to perceive what's going on. You have to have a psychic training too. So for me, I've been through a lot of years of psychic training and understanding like what's going on with this information coming through. Because just having hair and being able to be psychically sensitive, that doesn't mean anything if you don't actually know what's going on. You can't analyze the information. So you still have to have the programming to be able to program your mind and your brain, because your brain is malleable. So when you do certain trainings of some sort, even using subliminals, you could influence your brain to have the appropriate programming to be able to be even more aware of what the actual information is and be even more psychically sensitive to where you're on an advanced level. That's why I can actually explain to people a lot of psychic phenomena, because now I did a lot of the psychic training with the subliminals, and I'm paying attention to the information that's coming through. And like, for example, well, no, I'm going to another video about that. But yeah, I feel overall complete. That's my experience. I feel more complete and much more psychically sensitive. I feel comfortable with myself even more now. And that's also with my personal development journey in general, because I spend a lot of alone time, and I'm going to do a video about the importance of being alone. A lot of alone time and personal development. I talk a lot about it here on this channel, but also on my other channel, NeoOneness Subliminals. You can go ahead and check that out too. That one, I talk a lot about the subconscious mind, subliminals, and personal development also. So just an overall completeness, calmness, and I don't feel needy like I used to. So that comes with the subliminals too, with the new psychological reconditioning process that I've been through, and I'm still going through a psychological reconditioning process to get out of my social programming. And now I've gotten out of a large portion of my social programming. That is what I suggest other people do too. Get out of your social programming. I'm telling you, that's the best and first way to get to higher spiritual enlightenment, to where you have that wholeness inside of you, that completeness. You feel complete. You don't feel like you have to go run out and go do something, or run out and go get a girlfriend or get a boyfriend or all of that stuff. I'm just chill. And yeah, a lot of stuff really doesn't matter besides spiritual enlightenment nowadays. For me, I don't even watch basketball anymore like I used to, because it's like the more spiritual consciousness I come into, the less I cared about sports and a lot of this entertainment stuff. That's how I know who's really into spiritual consciousness versus who's still needs work. Is the people who's caught up in the entertainment stuff and all of this stuff in the Matrix, versus the people that is more about spending time by themselves and really raising themselves up to a higher level. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. If you got any more questions, comments, and concerns about what I said, you could definitely go ahead and send it in the comment section or email. And boy, my hair look rough compared to the Matrix system as far as their standards, their standards of cleanliness. But for me, I just let my hair grow out and just let it be. Just let it be. But when I'm in certain areas, I put the do-rag on though to look a little bit more neat. Oh, that's the other thing too. I noticed too when I have my hair grow back is my do-rag is more puffed out. Like I remember when I used to get my fade to get my waves, and my hairline, my do-rag is like flat. Now it's like poof. It's like that extra layer, so you're gonna have to deal with that too. If you got like, you usually wear like a do-rag if you're a dude and your hair grow out, your do-rag's gonna be a little bit more puffier than usual. That, and then the other thing I don't like too is your hair, the dead hair, gets in a lot of different places. Like especially after you take a shower, I see a bunch of my little curls looking like portals. And when I got out of the shower, I looked back and I realized a thought came to me, transmission came to me, that the melanated hair is cosmic hair. And I'll probably do another video talking about that. But all right, thank you very much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Definitely look into subliminals to help you get out of your social programming, and to do a lot of stuff to overall recondition your mind to a new type of thinking, new type of perception. And you can check out my NeoOneness Subliminals YouTube channel. That's my other one. You can go to my community section here on this Brotha Neo channel, and I have some of my videos from the other channel that you can check out, and also you can click on the icon to be able to get to it. All right, till next time.